एंड तक देखिएगा, एंड तक सुनिएगा, because this is something eventually, whether you get a call from MSc Finance or MHRD, whether you do get a call, whether you convert, you don't convert, but this will be the most important lecture that you will come across. At least for 2 years, you will understand how to face an interview and everything. Okay, so let us start. So let us speak about the $1,000,000 question, sir. Will you get a call? And this is something that I've been asked time and again. At least I've been asked by 100 students, sir. If you look at my profile, do you think that I will be getting a call or whether I will not be getting a call? Now let me answer it for once and for all for every single person. And let me explain you the eligibility criteria as well for MSc Finance as well as MHRD. Okay, let's see, start with that. अब JBIMS MSc Finance की अगर मैं बात करूं, particularly weightage दो type का है. One is for getting a call, the second is for your final conversion. Let me explain in detail so that you understand. Okay. Now to get a call, I repeat, to get a call, you have this application rating system. Yeah, application rating score. Application rating score, around 2,000 students will apply for MSc Finance score, and approximately 300 students to 400 students will be receiving a call based on their ARS. The higher the ARS, the higher is the chance of you getting a call. Now let us understand. I hope I am completely audible. अब इनका वेटेज क्या क्या है? Let's see. As per the 2025 का data, 2025 का notification, there is 60% weightage on CAT or MBA MSc CET or UPSC का score. There is a 60% weightage on that. Now, how do they bifurcate CAT? How do they bifurcate UPSC ka score? How do they bifurcate CET ka score? That is absolutely unknown. Similarly, they have 15% weightage on 10th, 12th and bachelor's degree ka percentage. Okay? Similarly, they have 20% weightage on extracurricular or work experience. Now, particularly when I say extracurricular or work experience, now, work experience, whether that will be counted in months or whether that will be counted in years, that is point one. Extracurricular में किसको weightage है? Whether I am a national swimmer, if I am a state level swimmer, if I am not a district level swimmer, that is absolutely unknown. तो ये मैं जज ही नहीं कर पाऊंगा, because see, particularly I am अहमदाबाद का notification होता है या बैंगलोर का notification होता है, उसमें they say that कि if you fall under this bracket, we will be allotting you that. Let's say for example 60 to 70% mark है. 70% है आपको 10th में, you will get 8 points या 7 points. 80 to 90 है, you will get around 6 points. So, but यहाँ पे ऐसा कुछ description ही नहीं है, तो you never know how much marks will you get, be it for extracurricular or be it for this. Now diversity. Now what diversity? Whether in engineering or a non-engineering, ऐसा कुछ भी mention नहीं है notification में. And similarly, जैसे मैंने बताया, that brings out the total to 100. The only static thing, see, all of these are completely static. There is nothing we can do about it. There is nothing we can do about it. ठीक है? उसके बाद, if you get a call, if you get a personal interview call, then you will be asked for an in-person assessment. Let me explain this. In-person assessment में 20% weightage is on group discussion. GA वो कहते हैं, but लेते group discussion ही है. ठीक है? Then there is 60% weightage on PI, there is 20% weightage on VAT, and the total is 100. The total is 100. And the final selection is 0.6 into AR plus 0.4 into in-person assessment. So if I have to write it down for your final selection, your CET ka score. CET ka score is nothing but 36%. This is 0.6, this is approximately 9, then this is approximately 12, this is 3, and this is 20 into 0.4. 20 into 0.4, this is 8. This is कितना आएगा? 0.4 into 24. That is your PI, and आपका VAT. VAT is how much? 0.4. That is 8. So the highest weightage, that is 24% in the final selection, is on PI. Similarly, the highest weightage is on your MBA CET ka percentile. Again, absolutely, there is nothing given that if you are scoring between 99 to 100, we will give you this much points, or whether we will directly multiply 0.6 into your percentile, ये नहीं पता. So as of now, will you get a call? Ambiguous, because the notification itself is ambiguous. So इस तरह से है. Got my point? So let us put this for rest, कि whether you will be getting a call or not. However, what is important for you to understand कि this part is completely static. There is nothing that you can do about the ARS. जो है वो freeze हो चुका है, सिर्फ आपको इसमें marks मिलने वाले हैं. What absolutely you can do about is your in-person assessment, and that is what we are here to prepare you for. अभी धीरे धीरे मैं बताऊंगा कि कैसे प्रिपरेशन होने वाला है, what should be the strategy for the preparation as well. So in-person assessment is something that you will have to work on. In-person assessment is something that will help you to convert your final call, whether you are a 98 percentiler, whether you are 99 percentiler or some other percentiler as well. I hope this is particularly clear. Same goes with the Sidnam MSc Finance. Sidnam MSc Finance का तो notification clear ही नहीं था पिछले साल, बिल्कुल भी ambiguous था. So I have not put this. ठीक है, let's see, बढ़ते हैं आगे. Similarly, MHRD मैंने last year के notification का directly screenshot ही लगाया है यहाँ पे. Now, that is again the activity in-person assessment. The admission procedure consists of CET CAT score, in-person assessment. That's it. ठीक है. उसके बाद then you have a group activity, personal interview and written ability test. Previously, MHRD की बात करें, while the time I'm talking about the time when the MHRD was introduced. So MHRD themselves had a different entrance exam. ये 2 बार हुआ था. I repeat, 2 बार या minimum 1 बार तो हुआ था. I remember MHRD had a different entrance exam altogether. They were not even accepting the CET ka CAT ka score. Once after that exam, they had an in-person assessment. However, since last 3 or 4 years, they have started accepting CET or CAT ka score, and then they call you for in-person assessment. That is point 1. Point 2. Now, this written ability test, I repeat, this is the written ability test, be it for MSc Finance or be it for MHRD as well. Let me tell you what does this written ability test consist of. Now, particularly when you look at the written ability test for IIMs, yeah, AWT for IIM Ahmedabad, they particularly ask you to write something on a particular topic. That is point number 1. However, JBIMS, MSc Finance or MHRD, particularly, and here is the ये यहाँ पे दिया भी है. The written ability test is of 10 marks and it entails 300-word essay on statement of purpose and pledging to take the course. I repeat, so written ability test, as far as the MSc Finance or MHRD course is concerned, they will ask you to write a statement of purpose and a pledge. Now, what is a pledge? Pledge is something that they give you in the course itself. This is the pledge of the JBIMS. ये लिखिएगा please. This has happened with my students as well. That is Yashasri Patel and Atharva Dokte. उनका भी मैं आपको थोड़ा डिटेल बताऊंगा. ठीक है? Let's see. So क्या कहते हैं वो आपको SOP लिखने के लिए, and क्या लिखने के लिए कहते हैं? That is a 300 word का SOP and a pledge. That pledge वो आपको time पे देंगे, and that is something that you have to write it in 10 minutes or 15 minutes. ठीक है? This is something that they have been following since the last year as well. But what we would be doing, we would be preparing for the worst case scenario as well. Pardon my voice, थोड़ा सा आज खराब है because I'm not feeling well. तो अगर थोड़ा बेस ज्यादा आ रहा होगा वॉइस में तो pardon that. ठीक है? Anyways, coming back to the topic. So VAT, by definition, it asks you to write something on a particular topic, but JBIMS would ask you to write an SOP. However, we would be preparing for both the things. I repeat, however, we would be preparing for both the things. In case if JBIMS this year would ask you to write something on a particular topic, we should be in a position to write that. That is point number 1. And let me give you an example. This is something very important because this is an orientation lecture. There was a time when 3 of my students had received, way back when जब CrossQ शुरू हो रहा था तब की बात कर रहा हूँ, 2022-23 की बात कर रहा हूँ. 3 of my students had received a call for MHRD course particularly. Now, one of the students, that is Atharva Dukte, who later got into IIM Kashipur and today is working with Amazon. He did write an SOP, but he forget, या फिर उसको time नहीं मिला to write the pledge. However, Yashasri Patil, who had a 2 years of experience at Infosys, she did write the SOP as well as pledge. The fact is, Atharva missed the MHRD ka course by a whisker because of the fact he scored low in written ability test, and only because he did not complete his SOP and he did not write his pledge. So writing a pledge, if they even ask you, is extremely, extremely important. This is, I am telling you from the personal experience. Yashasri Patel got into MHRD, आप LinkedIn पे check कर सकते हो, one of our students. Atharva Dokte later got into IIM Kashipur, but you couldn't get into MHRD. So this is very important. If you are noting it down, and if they ask you to write a VAT, particularly on SOP as well as pledge, make sure that you do not forget to write the pledge. This is extremely important. However, as I said, in case they change this year, PR SOP ki jagah, please write something on that topic. We will be training you for that as well. That is point number one. Point number two. Now, I believe the ambiguity around the dilemma around the whether you will be receiving a call for JBIMS MSc Finance, Sidney MSc Finance, or JBIMS MHRD. You know that you have the same dilemma. So do we have the same dilemma because of the ambiguity of this particular course, because the ambiguity of this particular notification. And hence, for that sake, in order to help you out, we, as already announced on YouTube as well, we have 50% refund policy on the course, that if you do not get an IPA call, the 50% of the fees that you have paid will be refunded to you. This is something that we are offering to the students so that उनका ज़्यादा investment ना जाए, क्योंकि call आएगा नहीं आएगा ये हमें भी नहीं पता, but preparation तो अभी से start करना पड़ेगा. Anyways, you already know this. Moving ahead. Now, let us start. Let us start this. Now, I hope everyone is in here. Everyone, please reply yes. All the people, please reply yes. All the 35 people, Ammi, Dave, Deepa, Bora, and 28 others, please reply yes if you are attending. Sir, Ane ko bhi link bhej dena to. Turant bhej dena, usko bolna Google Meet pe. Yeah. Screen is not visible. Is that the case? No, I think it is visible. Shahin, it is visible. Screen is visible, right? Aditya, everyone. Aditya Jha. I want everyone to reply yes. All the people who are attending, please reply yes. Okay? It is visible, right? Yeah. Screen is visible. Perfect, right? Now, let us move on to the dynamic part. As I said, your selection is based on two formats. One is the static part, that is your CD percentile, your 10th, 12th, your work experience and everything. The other is based on the dynamic part. Now, what is the dynamic part? Is something that you have in your hand where you can still score marks. And these are three important parameters, that is group discussion, which they call is group activity, personal interview, as well as written ability test, which will eventually include your SOP and the pledge writing. Now, listen to me very carefully henceforth. Okay? Let's see. Now, when we talk about these three parameters, I want to understand. Obviously, I'm asking you to work on these parameters. Now, the fact is, I am also asking you to work the areas you have to work on. And here is something that I have added is an Instagram. Now, all of you might be thinking, sir, क्या बोल रहे हैं? ठीक है, let's see. Instagram की बातें क्यों कर रहे हैं? Why do you think I have put this Instagram का logo here? Any logic of behind putting this? Can you guess? Can you even guess why I have asked you to do this? Thank you. The fact is, see, let us try and understand. Networking, no, absolutely not. Let me explain. Now, I know बहुत लोगों को लगेगा कि why have I put in this Instagram का thing. Let's say, for example, there is too much of information available. There is too much of information. The fact that the moment you start studying from MSc Finance and MHRD, you will be finding that there is so much of information available on YouTube. There is so much of information available on every single channel. But the fact is that on the particular day, you will have a maximum of 7 chances. I repeat, you will have a maximum of 7 chances. Let us say maximum of 10 chances to put up your first impression. Remember my words. You will never get a chance. You will never get a second chance for your first impression. So your first impression has to be your picture perfect. Every chance that you get, that is the 10 chances or the 7 chances that you get, will have a maximum time frame of 30 seconds, sir. Will have a maximum time frame of 30 seconds. Okay? No one will allow you to speak beyond 30 seconds, whether that is group activity, whether that is personal interview as well. Now the fact is, if you would want to gain the interest of the interview panelist or the person who is judging you for group activity, you have to confine all your information in 30 seconds and make sure that you prepare it like an Instagram reel. Instagram reel. अब Instagram reel का best part क्या होता है? That is the hook part. Now, if you see, let us understand, 58% of the people have a skip rate. You will skip because the first 10 seconds of your answer of your Instagram reel are completely boring. Don't you do that. Please tell me. Anshi Gupta, Aditi Vaidya, Soham. Don't you do that. Like if you find a particular Instagram reel, the first 5 seconds is boring. Okay, you will immediately skip it, right? The same goes with your answer. The same goes with your answer. If you do not gain the interest, if you do not gain the attention of your panelist in the first 5 to 10 seconds of your answer, obviously he will ask you the second question because he is very dissatisfied with you. If not dissatisfied, he is not interested in your answer. Let us try and understand. ठीक है? He will immediately ask you. यहां तक समझ में आ रहा है आपको कैसे कह रहा हूं? How to frame that, I will let you know. देखते हैं कैसे, ठीक है? So that is something you will have to prepare every single answer like an Instagram reel. वो कैसे करना है मैं आपको बता दूंगा. Let's see, moving ahead, sir. So group discussion की बात करते हैं. So group discussion particularly as of now, we have really understood that आपको every answer you have to prepare like an Instagram reel. Now moving ahead. Let's talk about the first activity of the group discussion. Now, group discussion is particularly based on, there will be 4 parameters that they will be judging you on. Number 1, etiquettes. Number 2, communication. Number 3, confidence. Number 4 is the knowledge. This is the most important part. And we will also take an example of group discussion so that you will understand what I mean to say. Okay, let's see. Now, the fact is, see, etiquettes can be learned. Etiquette can be learned. Yeah, if you practice 4 or 5 GDs, okay, if you practice 4 or 5 GDs, obviously आपको etiquettes आ जाएंगे. Similarly, communication, I believe each one of you attending the session has a good command over language. Okay, that is a 100%. I believe that if you are aiming for MSc Finance MHRD, you have a good command of on your language. Similarly, the confidence. Confidence अगर आपको चाहिए, तो unless and until you do not have the knowledge of that particular topic, if you do not have a knowledge of that particular topic, you will not be confident to speak on that particular topic. Hence, it is very important. The confidence is a byproduct of the knowledge, and I believe you all agree with that. Now, the fact is, many of you have the lot of knowledge, or scarce of knowledge on a particular topic. Let us take an example of that. Okay? So, for the next 40 days or 2 months or 2.5 months, till you get your final interview done, we will be working on your knowledge. Similarly, we will be helping you to gain confidence, communication, and we will be teaching you the etiquettes through the multiple GDs. Similarly, we will be helping you to speak and articulate all of your knowledge in 30 seconds. In 30 seconds. That is the most important because GD में आपको total 3 से 4 chances मिलने वाले हैं. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. In a 10 or 15 minutes का GD, you will have only 3 or 4 times that you would be speaking. Maximum मैं बोल रहा हूँ. Minimum of 1 or 2. ठीक है, बात करते हैं. Let's say GD का मैं कहना क्या चाहता हूँ. Let's see. Now, I give you 30 seconds and I want everyone to write on this. Everyone. Let's say for example, हम करने क्या वाले मैं आपको बताता हूँ. GD topic is India completely ready for EVs. If I give you next 30 seconds, what is the opening point? I give you 30 seconds to think about it. If I ask you to write, if I ask you to particularly introduce this topic or start with this topic, how would you speak? You have 30 seconds to write it down in the chat. Please start. This is a very important exercise that we are doing. आगे मैं और डिटेल में बताऊंगा. The lecture का difficulty level अभी बढ़ते जाएगा. Your 30 seconds start now. Your 30 seconds start now. Please write something on this topic. Is India completely ready for EVs? How would you even introduce this topic? Yeah, how would you say about this topic? So recording on, है ना? Yeah. Make sure that you are attended till the end because ये बहुत important होने वाला है. आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा कहां से हम लोग कहां चले गए हैं. 30 seconds, sir. Done? I think we are done with those 30 seconds. Anyone who could write something, he said, this is how I would start this. Amid the ongoing crisis of the world, EV has become the most debated topic. India imports nearly 85% of its crude oil, which is vulnerable to geopolitical shocks. Nikhil, is that how you would start? Or do you think this would be the middle? I think India is not fully ready, but it is closer than before. Okay, Abhishek. Nikhil, is that how you will start? I'm just asking, or will that be something in the mid of the Yewala? India is moving towards EV adoption, but it is not completely ready. Challenges, okay. Okay, absolutely correct. See, India is moving towards, sir, ये सिर्फ mouse हटा देंगे क्या chat से? No, as the infrastructure required for building ecosystem for EV is not complete. Okay, fair enough. Now listen to me very confused. No, India is not ready. No, listen to me. Okay. Anyone, any other answers? Any other answers, please? India is not ready. EV segment. Okay, fair enough. Now, listen to me very carefully. Something that I would be speaking next is absolute chat upar chala gaya. Something that I would be speaking next. Please do not consider it as an offense to anyone. Please do not consider it as an offense to anyone. But this is something that I am putting in the simplistic language to make you understand. As I said, you will be getting only 30 seconds, a maximum of 1 minute to speak about what you know. And the fact is, all of you know a lot many things about EVs. A lot of you know a lot many things about EVs. So mostly 70% of the India stays. Okay. Now, if I were in your position, well, let me explain. Let's see. Now, basic points. How you as a beginner, now all of you are beginners. I believe all of you are beginners, and how you as a beginner would say in GD, India is not ready for EVs. One particular person did say that India is not ready. Are we not ready or not? We don't have that answer. Okay? Someone did say that. I already said that you as a beginner would say something like this. There is also lack of charging stations. Absolutely, you said that. As a beginner, you did say that. Okay? There are battery problems. Again, someone said that it is costly. Someone said that, but it is better alternative to petrol. Okay, it will save import cost. We will have to shift to EVs. Now, this is something you already said. The basic problem anyone appearing for a group discussion is that you discuss something like this. Particularly kahan se? Because like जैसे पान की दुकान पे चर्चा नहीं होती है क्या? Because of the fact of lack of information, या because of the fact of too much of information. Again, as I said, no offense to anyone, but this is how something we discuss every single topic. But if I particularly ask you, sir, you as a consultant, you as a panelist, you as someone who is sitting in a dialogue, how would you particularly discuss this topic? Let me give you an example. I don't know if you know about this rice in a dialogue or not. Let me give you an example. I want you to discuss something like a panelist, something like a BCG ka consultant. So if I were in your position, I repeat, if I were in your position, I would have started this topic in this way. The readiness of India for EVs has two important factors. That is consumer readiness and infrastructure availability. Consumer readiness as well as the infrastructure availability. Now, speaking about the consumer readiness, there has been a transitional shift from 2021 to 2026. The consumer is well aware that he has to sooner or later adopt the EVs. But the consumer is still, I repeat, the consumer is still not very sure whether he should be shifting towards EV right now because of certain policy decisions, and the major factor that is impacting his decision to move to EV is particular that range anxiety, non-availability of the charging station, so on and so forth. However, the government is working on multiple factors to ensure that India sooner or later moves to the EV infrastructure and becomes one of the EV capitals of the world. Then you would, samajh mein aa raha hai? That is how you would start the topic, sir. That is how you would start the topic and open the discussion for everyone. Then you will be bringing in the statistics for that particular topic. Samajh mein aa raha hai? What kind of statistics? Now, let's say, for example, every topic is unique in itself. Now, if you particularly ask Gemini, or chat GPT. Chat GPT will definitely give you an essay on this. So that chat GPT will definitely give you an essay on this, and that essay can be copy pasted, directly copy pasted. But whether you will be writing that particular chat GPT essay or not is something that you will have to think about. So if I were in your place and if I had to prepare this particular topic, whether India is ready for EVs or not, what I would do is use Gemini, but structure it well. Perfect introduction. And then I would write questions to Gemini. That is the total two-wheelers and four-wheelers in India. Percentage of EVs, two-wheelers and four-wheelers. This is mid of the GD. YOY growth in each segment. What I've read, I am not very sure. This was informed to me by one of the students while we were discussing this topic, that there's a 40% increase. ठीक है? अभी मैंने वो पढ़ा नहीं है तो मैं confirm नहीं बोलूंगा. YOY growth in each segment. Fuel pump versus charging stations का penetration in India. Private or home charging stations. Manufacturing challenges. The road and the vision ahead. Effects on the economy. That is something that you will be asking to Gemini, and then particularly each and everything you will note it down. Then you will make a concise particular VAT as well as a concise GD for that particular topic. I hope you are getting this. समझ में आ रहा है सभी लोगों को? Is that very clear? And that is what will make you perfect. मैंने कहा क्या कहा आपको 1 minute में आपको पूरा डेटा प्रेजेंट करना है, पूरा डेटा. And that is the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge today is too much of information. Now what we are learning is to concise that information in 30 seconds or 1 minute, and that is what we are here to help you with. Are you getting my point? Please understand. Maithili, Krish, I hope I'm audible. Are you guys there? Yeah. Network 100%, no? Yeah. Okay. Sir, is it okay? I don't know. Yeah, it's okay. Aditya, we will be training you for that topic. You don't know, that's completely okay. But the fact is, see, let us understand, Aditya, we are particularly preparing for one of the top courses. We are particularly preparing for one of the top courses of CET. And it is okay to not know a particular topic, but it is very important that if you have to be among the top 30 of that particular batch, it is important that you know that topic. Let us not even leave an iota of excuse for us not to get selected. Got my point? So that is something. Okay. So this is the structure. How I will prepare this particular topic, asking Gemini. I will concise it, build a particular topic, and that particular topic is my final. Introduction. Now the way I introduce this particular topic, that the readiness of India for EVs has two important factors, so on and so forth. The same kind of introduction you can copy paste into particular, same kind of similar topics. Is India ready for AI adoption? Is India ready to go for a large-scale defense production? Is India ready for ethanol blended fuel? Now the fact is, I am not saying that these topics are similar to that particular topic, but the fact is these topics have more or less the same structure of that particular topic. The way you search it, the way you study it, the way you frame the answers, more or less they would be same. I hope this is clear. Bade aage? Shall we move ahead? Please respond. Shall we move ahead? Okay. Maithili, Krish, Aditya, and everyone. So can I see all the people? Yeah. Okay. I want everyone to contribute there. Moving ahead, sir. Now let us talk about the personal interview, the next thing. Personal interview. Now this would be very interesting, which has a very high weightage. As I said, 24% of the weightage will be in this. Okay. Now, agar main baat karu, sir, let me show, please show me all the aspirants there, out there. Okay. Personal interview ki baat karte hain, sir. Again, let me remind you, sir. Let me remind you. Personal interview, again, I repeat, personal interview would, again, all your answers should be in the real format. I repeat, all your answers should be in the real format. Now, how is that possible that my answers would be in a real format? Let me explain. You have to gain the attention of the panelist in the first 10 seconds, or he will immediately, he will yawn for your answer. Because of the fact the panelist is interviewing around 20 to 30 people in a day, in one particular day. Obviously, he is very bored of asking those same repetitive questions. The fact is PI. ठीक है, यहाँ पे समझ में आ रहा है? So again, let me remind that your answer should be like a reel. And how should they be like a reel? मैं आपको बताता हूँ. Let's see. The only objective of this personal interview, I repeat, the only objective of this personal interview is to check how keen are you to join MSc Finance and MHRD course. If you make them understand, sir, chat scroll down. If you make them understand, sir, I am really keen and I have walked an extra mile to be in this particular course, you are in. And your interview, I repeat, your interview will last a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 12 to 15 minutes. Maximum. There have been cases where the interview has only lasted for 7 minutes or 8 minutes because the panelist is extremely bored to know more about you. The moment you walk in from the door, I repeat, the moment you walk in from the door, the panelist knows whether you know things or you don't know things. That how does he know is from your body language. And how does your body language improve is particularly from the knowledge that and the confidence that you have because you have prepared well for that interview. Similarly, obviously, the way how you dress, that is something extra, but ये सारे factors बहुत ज़्यादा important है. So, as I said, he would be judging how keen are you to join this MSc Finance or MHRD course, and introduction to myself, your personality, your subject knowledge, why MSc Finance, have you walked an extra mile? Are you a high aiming person? This is extremely important. Guys, you are among the 30 students for MSc Finance and MHRD, respectively, among those 1 lakh people who were ultimately aiming for JBIMS. You have to be a high aiming person. This is something that he would be checking. भाई ऐसे ही उठ के आए हैं कि MSc Finance because JB जाना है इसलिए MSc Finance का फॉर्म भरा है क्या? This is something that he would be checking. So let's see. Now, how would the interview be distributed? Let's say even if it lasts for 8 minutes to 12 minutes, how would it be distributed? There are particularly 7 to 8 parameters where he will be asking questions on. So on which particular parameter will he be asking question? That is completely unsure. Okay? He might ask you why this course. This is something there is a high probability of this asking this question. Knowing yourself, least probability. Least probability unless and until you are someone who might interest him, तब तक वो नहीं पूछेगा. General knowledge of world updates, he might ask you. Finance or MHRD questions, high chances of asking questions. Academics, if you are someone without a work experience, you are bound to be asked some academic questions. HR questions like tell me your strength and weakness, he might ask you such questions. Why do you want to get into MSc Finance? Okay, what is your aim after 5 years? Miscellaneous questions, work experience questions, if any. Now, if you particularly ask me, sir, बताइए किस पे पक्का आएगा? I cannot tell you, very honestly. But you have to be mentally prepared for every single question that they ask. Every single question, and that is what we are preparing you from since day one. Okay? But then again, now, let me talk about the first question, sir. Knowing yourself, tell me something about yourself. How do you introduce yourself? How do you introduce yourself? Now, let's say, for example, shall I give you 30 seconds? Shall I give you 30 seconds to write down Maithili, Krish, Aditya, Dinesh, YT, Divesh, YT Gaming, Mahindrika, Rohini, Krish, Kala, and everyone. I give you 30 seconds to write down if you have prepared your, tell me something about yourself. In case if they ask this question, you should be in a position to answer this. Please start. I will also quote an example. Chaliye, anyone who has completed his introduction, yeah, at least the starting point. Maithili, Krish, Mahindrikar, Rohini, Krish Kala, Mr. Deepa, Miss Deepa Behra, anyone? Okay, let's see. Let me give you an example. Now, I am giving you an example of one of my student who is Anay. He's a 12th standard guy. He's a 12th standard graduate. So don't expect, I repeat, don't expect something very fancy from his introduction. I repeat, don't expect something very fancy from his introduction because he's just a 12th standard guy. Again, he has received a call from IIM Indore for IPMAT. IPMAT Indore, IPM Indore, he has received a call and we have worked on his introduction because they are bound to ask introduction because 12th standard guy ko aap zyada kya puchenge. And let me give you an example. Okay, let's see. I am 21 years old and belong to Colabor. I completed my schooling. Okay. I am Soham Pandey. I have completed my graduation in financial markets. Now I am working as an independent. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Now let me. Okay. Very good. So I'm good. Okay. Now let me give you an example of a 12th standard student for which we prepared the introduction. Let us try and understand. Let's see. I am Anay. I have cut down his surnames. And I am from Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, which is the tourism capital of Maharashtra. What we were planning to write is, which is one of the top 10 exporters of India. But the fact is, there would have been a lot of questions. He being at a very young age, I didn't want him to dwell into that particular questions. Hence, we ignored that. But we just wrote, which is also the tourism capital of Maharashtra. That is point one. I have finished my higher secondary education, and my journey so far has been a balance between studies and sports. Now, because of the fact you have introduced this, my journey so far has been a balance between studies and sports. You have gained the, I repeat, you have gained the interest. You have asked the particular person, the panelist, to please wait and listen to my answer. I repeat, please wait and listen to my answer. So you have already told him the summary of your answer in the first line itself. Sir, I will be speaking about my academics as well, and I will be also speaking about my sports. Now you have gained that. Nahi to kya hoga 10 second mein, please move on to the next question. Are you getting my point? So the fact is, let's say I am Sohan Pandey, I have completed my graduation, and now I am working in yeah. So see, ab hota kya hai introduction mein? Introduction mein you take turns. You take turns kaise? 1, 2, 3, 4. These are sharp turns. These are sharp turns. What we ask you to do particularly is, rather than taking up, now let's say for example, एक scene के बाद direct दूसरा scene आता है. So obviously your mind gets disturbed because you cannot switch your mind from one segment to another segment. What you have to particularly do is you have to smoothen your process. You have to smoothen your process. You have to smoothen those turns. Sir, speak my journey. I have won a gold medal in the Olympiad and also reached outside the classroom. Outside the classroom. This is how you make us turn as smooth as possible. Fitness and sports are my biggest passion. I love learning to play new sports, and I've also learned that IIM Indore has a state-of-the-art facility for squash. This is how you smoothen the curves between your introduction. Even if you watch an UPSC ka interview, you will get some linking कि वहाँ पे smooth कैसे करते हैं turns को. Are you getting my point? So this is something that we will be working on your introduction as well. So this is an example. Now moving on to the next question. Why MSc Finance or MHRD, sir? Why MSc Finance or MHRD? Okay, please tell me, have you guys decided upon why MSc Finance or MHRD? Why MSc Finance or MHRD? This will be the most important parameter that you will be judged on. Okay, this will be the most important. Has anyone decided? Let's see. Now the fact is, okay, even if you haven't decided, let me ask you, people for HR and people for MSc Finance, please write down MSc Finance or MHRD. Now I haven't given my introduction. मैं बाद में end में दूंगा मेरा introduction. ठीक है? MSc Finance and MHRD, please write it down. MSc Finance and MHRD people, MSc Finance में interest है या कैसे? MHRD में. Okay, Mansi, Sachin, ठीक है? Deepa, I'm currently working in HR, so I want to excel in it. MSc Finance. Okay. Everyone who is writing MSc Finance and MHRD, please tell me very honestly. Okay, MSc Finance is as I done BF. Okay, fair enough. Can you please tell me what are the profiles offered in MSc Finance? Simultaneously, people who are working for HR, who are aspiring for HR, can you please tell me what are the profiles offered in MHRD? Okay, what are the profiles offered after MHRD? Investment banking. Okay, fair enough. Then, okay, during my time in I was exposed to subjects such as statistics, analytics, forecasting. While I was working on these concepts, I developed a strong interest. We'll also sharpen that. Aditi, we will sharpen that more. Okay, let's see. Investment banking, corporate finance. Okay. अब ये लोग करते क्या है? Now I'll tell you my profile. I have worked as a credit analyst at State Bank of India. I was State Bank of India probationary officer. Worked there for 5 years. My last profile was a credit analyst. Okay, so I have been there. So okay, all you know is the profile. So if I were to start an answer, now even if I come from a computer science background, I wish to dwell into क्या कहते हैं, finance, I still would have an answer. If I come from a BCom background, if I come from an क्या कहते हैं, commerce background, I can still delve into HR based, depends on my answer. So let me give you an example. So why MSc Finance? The first thing that you have to do is, do you know the syllabus? Read the syllabus. Read the syllabus. I repeat, read the syllabus. Similarly, read the work profile offers. Read the work profiles offered. Now, when you read the syllabus, when you read the work profiles offered, you will immediately have a liking towards a particular profile. You will immediately have a liking towards a particular profile. And now what you can do is particularly align your personal interest with the profiles offered, and then make an answer key. Where do you see yourself in next 5 years? Yeah, why MSc Finance or why MHRD? I've prepared a sample answer as well. I'll give you. Okay? So first thing that I would want you to do is read the syllabus. Similarly, the homework for you till the next session is read about all the profiles offered in work, MSc Finance. And not just the titles, but actually what you are supposed to do in that particular profile. And that will eventually help you and us to decide how would you answer in a personalized note about why MSc Finance and why MHRD. I hope this is clear. Moving ahead, let's say, for example, a computer science background student. How would you answer? How would you particularly answer? Anyone from computer science background? I am not sure if there is someone. How would you particularly answer? So why MSc Finance? Obviously, this is a major question. That is major difficulty in answering. So let's say, for example, sir, I as a student, I have always been interested in finance as well as technology, and I believe the best profile that I could get, I believe the best best profile that I could get in through MSc Finance is the fintech, and that would align with my personal interest of finance as well as technology. And then you can start it. Okay? Similarly, why CA or BCom by graduate student, इसके लिए तो obvious है कि ये MSc Finance क्यों करेगा? समझ में आ रहा है? Similarly, let's talk about the MHRD का. Let's say, for example, how would I start? Why HR? Sir, in this extremely fast evolving technological world and AI adoption, the dynamics of people management are about to change drastically. With reference to my interest, आप यहाँ से continue कर सकते हो. So that is how you prepare a very personalized answer, sir. समझ में आ रहा है? I don't want you to be, sir, I am interested in MSc Finance. No. I am interested in HR. No. You have to be very, very specific which particular profile you are interested in, and that will give you a brownie points. Is that very clear? यहाँ तक please respond. It's already 1. Yeah. Is that clear? Shall we move ahead? Okay. बढ़ते हैं आगे. Let's see. Now, subject knowledge, as I said, subject knowledge आपको पूरा syllabus पढ़ के आना है next इसके लिए. But this is your overall subjects that will be taught for the next 2 years in MSc Finance. Now, what I particularly want you to do is, let's say, for example, if economics तो हमको पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा. Accounting principles. So the first thing that you would want to understand more about MSc Finance is go on ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT or Gemini what are accounting principles. I will also give you a timetable about what you need to do for the next 2 or 3 days. IT and digital applications. How IT and digital applications are applicable in finance sector. This is something that they could ask you. Okay. Similarly, why is coding required? Why is coding required in finance? If coding in Excel is a part of your syllabus, you may go and prepare an answer. Why do you think coding is required in finance? This is how you will be studying. अब मैं पूरा syllabus तो आपको पढ़ना नहीं. No one is asking you to learn Python or C languages or Java, but you should be knowing why coding languages are required in finance as well, because that is a part of your syllabus. That will help you to know better about your particular subject. Similarly, let's say, for example, MHRD. This is your syllabus. What are the commercial laws and taxation? I believe someone is here from an HR background. I think I have spoken to that particular student. Okay? What are commercial laws and taxation laws in HR? Why are they? What is organizational behavior, and how does individual psychology affect the HR practices? Yes, what is organizational behavior? आप जैसा जैसा एक एक सब्जेक्ट के बारे में पढ़ोगे, एक ओवरव्यू, you will have better knowledge of that particular. See, there is not only one parameter that you have to study upon. You have to study all the parameters, the syllabus, the YMSCs, MHRDs, similarly the subject knowledge, the world knowledge. They may ask you question on any single thing. Moving ahead, so let's see. Now, this is a GDPI kit. This is a GDPI kit that we have already floated in multiple WhatsApp groups. For the particularly next session, ये तो हम लोग धीरे धीरे पढ़ेंगे. ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज, कंसल्टिंग एंड स्ट्रैटेजी, जनरल अवेयरनेस, ये इंडेक्स है उसका. I would want you to study something about general awareness for the next 3 days. That is based on the page number 100 and 138. 100 to 138 is what that is based on. So you will be studying some general awareness first. That is your homework for the next 3 days. But I am not ending here. Next 3 days. Okay? Okay, sir, if I am studying that, but what about the questions? Let's see. Note that. Note that. Yeah, I'll share that again soon. Okay? We have to prepare everything in 3 layers. Now, because we are talking about the preparation, we have to prepare everything in 3 layers. What do I mean by 3 layers? Let's try and understand. Okay? Let's say, for example, if I particularly ask you what is the GDP? What is the GDP of India? What is the GDP of India? And also tell me the ranking. Also tell me the ranking. What is the GDP of India and also the ranking? Please tell me, everyone. GDP of India. If I ask you this particular question in an interview, how would you answer that? Please tell me. Thank you for asking this, Aditya. Let's see. Yes, please, everyone. Everyone. Aditya, please write an answer. Please write an answer. Nikhil, please write an answer the way you would write that in an interview. The way you would say that in an interview. Just a second. Yeah. Everyone. I am expecting everyone to write that. Why is that taking a lot of time? Yes. Anyone? Okay, fair enough. Let's see. How would you write that answer? Sir, okay, India is 6th globally in ranking in GDP. Okay, 4.5 trillion. Currently, India is 6th largest economy by nominal GDP, valued at 4 point. Okay, let's see. For example, now let me explain you what is level 1, level 2, and level 3. Okay, let's say, for example, as Aditi said that, Abhi, Aditya, the way you asked me a question, let's say, for example, you particularly asked me, sir, आपका Aditya question क्या था? If you could again, Aditya नहीं, I think there was someone who asked another question. Okay, let's see. GDP per capita or no? See, I said I didn't mention GDP. So particularly, how would I answer this? So the ranking of India. India is the 6th largest economy in the nominal GDP terms, and it values at 4.15 trillion. However, it ranks 3rd in the purchasing power parity. In the purchasing power parity. Now, this is the level 1 of question. Also, if I have to walk an extra mile, I've always been saying that you have to walk an extra mile in every of your answer. So again, let me repeat, sir. India, the size of the Indian economy is 4.15 trillion as per the nominal GDP, and it ranks 6th in the world. However, India's rank as per the purchasing poverty is 3rd largest in the world. On the same line, sir, India contributes to around 3 to 3.4, if I cannot remember, 3 to 3.5% of the world's GDP. Now, this is something that you have walked an extra mile. That you also told them, sir, I have read about something that India contributes to 3% to 3.5% of the total world's GDP. Are you getting my point? This is how you walk an extra mile. Now, similarly, this was level 1 ka question. What will be the level 2 ka question? Please tell me the difference between nominal GDP versus real GDP. Because of the fact that you spoke something extra, he would be interested in knowing how much do you know. And that is what we are looking at. That is what we are trying to gain his interest. So he would ask you the level 2 ka question, tell me the nominal GDP and real GDP. Similarly, he will ask you, sir, if it is a real GDP, please tell me the base year of this real GDP. That is 2011-12. Got my point? So the fact is, whenever you are preparing for a topic, you have to be particularly prepared for level 1 questions, level 2 questions, as well as level 3 questions. But the fact is, sir, okay, I have to prepare for level 1 and level 2 and level 3 questions. But the fact is, not immediately. The first thing that you have to do is you have to prepare level 1 of all the questions that they can ask. Then level 2 of all the, नहीं तो GDP पढ़ने में ही एक दिन चला जाएगा पूरा. I repeat, GDP पढ़ने में ही पूरा एक दिन चला जाएगा. ठीक है? So level 1 of all the questions that they ask, level 2 of all the questions later, and level 3 of all the questions whether they ask you in क्या कहेंगे group activity, group discussion, or in personal interview as well. And that is how you walk an extra mile. I already told you that you will give them an extra information that India accounts to around 3 to 3.5% of the world's GDP. Moving ahead, what should be your daily schedule? Your daily schedule should be around 6 hours a day, if not 6, 3 hours a day. That would be equally divided between HR or finance for 2 hours. You may study that from that particular kit that we have given you. General affairs for 2 hours. Read about the general affairs. The students who are subscribed to our courses, we will tell you the best sources for the general affairs, where you will be in a position to form an opinion about something that is very important. Okay? And preparation for your answers for 2 years. This is something that I personally will be helping you with. And how will I help you with that particular answers? Obviously, I request everyone to send me a draft of your answers and everything in detail. And how will we be doing that? We will be sending you a detailed Google form for your PI. I would want to know every single detail. बचपन से लेके अब तक आपने क्या किया है, हर छोटे से छोटा डिटेल मुझे उसमें चाहिए. And we will be floating that very soon. Next GDs is on Thursday. Topic and structure will be announced soon. So for example, next group activity या group discussion जो होगा वो Thursday को होगा. कौन से topic पे होगा? What I will give you, I will handhold you, I will tell you कि ये topic के लिए ये पढ़ के आइए. Give this prompts to ChatGPT and Gemini. Summarize this and then come for a GD. I will be telling you in detail कि sir ये सब पढ़ के आना है आपको. इस तरह से ये टॉपिक पढ़ के आना है. This is something I will be telling you by tomorrow or day after, that is on Tuesday. And then we will be meeting again on Thursday to discuss the first or the second GD, maybe दो GDs करेंगे. And then we will be starting with the GDs and some finance lectures later that week. I hope this is clear. यहाँ तक कोई queries है तो please पूछ सकते हैं. Any queries still here? I've already given you the homework. I'll be floating a Google form for your PI questions. ठीक है? And जैसे मैं वहां पे strengths and weakness लूंगा. Strengths and weakness क्या है आपके? That will be an HR question. We will be preparing that. Why MSc Finance? Why MHR, MHRD? I would want to know everything in detail. Anything that you would want to ask? Just एक announcement है for any of you. हाँ, ये वाला last. There's a 50% off if you don't get a 50% refund, not an off, if you don't get an IPA call. And last but not the least, there is an important announcement. There is an all India scholarship test for MBA CET 2027 scheduled on 20th of June. Do let your friends know about it. And there is a new batch starting for MBA CET 2027. That is 22nd of June. We have this thing. Any other questions? How should you open? See, every topic will be क्या कहेंगे, will be opened in a different manner. जैसे मैं कह रहा हूं कि आप उस जीडी में क्या बोलने वाले हैं, उसका समरी अब स्टार्टिंग में बताइए. दिवेश, गॉट माय पॉइंट? ठीक है, उसका समरी आप स्टार्टिंग में बता दो. जैसे हम लोगों ने वो वाला किया था, राइट? इज इंडिया रेडी फॉर ईवीज वाला, द बेस्ड ऑन 2 factors, कि that is consumer behavior as well as the infrastructure availability. ठीक है? Anything else that you would want to ask, or shall we call it a day? I hope this was an interesting session, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. If you have any queries, please let me know. ठीक है? You can reach out to me on my number as well as, yeah, ठीक है. Ayush, thank you so much. Yeah. So, an out of topic question, I am interested in pursuing US CPA as I am in accounting and finance. So will MSc Finance give me edge, or should I go for normal? MSc Finance will certainly give you an edge, Aditya. And I believe MSc Finance is better valued than US CPA. Okay. Right? Okay. Right? Okay. All the very best, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I will see you in the next session of GD, and the details will be out soon. Thank you so much. Till then, take care. Bye-bye and good day. Thank you.